Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, good morning, good morning, YouTube. Do we have sound? Yeah, it looks like there is volume. Excellent. So, again, as I've always been saying, we will be working on this. YouTube will be getting better as the weeks go on, and I incorporate StreamYard, and I hook up my better camera and get this all dialed in. But we will be live on Instagram today. And as a matter of fact, there we go. We're going live on Instagram. So, good morning, everybody who is tuning in. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Nice to be here with you. We're going to give it a minute because we do have quite a few people who like to join in on the live and watch them as we're doing it. Good morning. And just so you all know, we are live on Instagram and YouTube right now. We will be live on Instagram and YouTube every Sunday. We are moving more of this over to YouTube for the Sunday live, but as long as the feed keeps working on Instagram, I will keep broadcasting on Instagram. And there's a whole lot of things going on. The podcast isn't just going to be weekly anymore. I'm going to start uploading daily episodes to the podcast more often because I've been going live every day. And a lot of the messages I've been saying have only been limited to Instagram. And I'm going to start using those audios and adding them to the podcast every day. Good morning over on Instagram. Good morning over on YouTube. I could see there's a bunch of people in the chat room already this morning on Instagram. Good morning. It's nice to see everybody here. Hey, good morning, Craigo. Good morning, everybody. Love the hearts. I always, I sound like a broken record all the time, but the hearts are really awesome. You can feel me. You can feel my intention. You know what this is all about. And it really is your way of showing that and sending that gratitude or that love or just that solidarity back. Hello, Germany. Good morning, everybody. So, you know, it's interesting because some of the Sunday lives I've had over the past maybe 2 months, I've expressed some frustration in some of them. Good morning. And that this chat is monitored. Well, I have a moderator. So, hey, there's a couple of people on YouTube. So I was just saying, if you scroll back through a few Sunday lives, you're going to find a few where I'm pretty fired up and I'm pretty raw and unfiltered. And I'm not apologizing for that because I truly believe everything I said is valid. It's just the way I expressed it that could have been done better. So this week, I really went back to what I've been reflecting on a lot lately is, I don't want to be a contributing voice to the chaos and the mayhem. When we go on social media every day right now, from the moment we go on in the morning till the moment you shut your phone down at night, you are seeing 95% just chaotic stuff. Yup, you'll see cool stuff, the cute kitty drumming stuff, and all that cool stuff. But for the most part, we're on this repetitive loop with the Epstein files and just hearing the same information constantly and constantly over and over. And for me, what happened is I began reacting spontaneously to those posts and videos. I would see a video of something that's just horrific. And rather than sitting down and thinking of a way to comfort people through it, inspire people, or come up with a solution, I would just sometimes respond back with just that kind of spontaneity, that spontaneous frustration and anger and fire. And I apologize for that because you do deserve better. So, and this is something I've been on the merry-go-round with. It happens to me all the time. It's like a repetitive cycle. I'll do good for a few weeks or a couple of months, and then I lose it. And I get on here and I just vent out so much of my frustrations. And again, it's not fair to you. That's not the relationship I want to have with you. That's not what I want you to think of me as. And for that, I do sincerely apologize. And I am infinitely grateful to those of you who were able to see past that, to not hold that against me and not say, oh, he's done 99 things I love, but I hate this. I'm not going to follow or support him anymore. So, for those of you who have endured my meltdowns, I am really grateful for you. And this week, I really, I even snapped at my wife the other day, which is not uncommon, to be honest. We are oftentimes we vent out our frustrations on those closest to us, and we shouldn't. And when I did that, I stepped back and I apologized immediately, and I really reflected on myself. If you've noticed, I've posted a few less videos this week, and check this out. Last Sunday, remember I said I was back up to like 12 million views in the last 30 days? This week, I didn't post my normal 3 videos a day. I posted maybe 1 or 2 videos a day. 9 million. 9 million is what my 30-day ratio is. I literally lost 3 million people seeing my posts daily because I haven't been consistently posting. Forget the algorithm is burying and hammering me. Like, I have 621,000 followers as of last night, and I am getting hammered, right? So I have to amp it up. And what I did this morning, so back to what I was just saying. So this week, I really, I've been trying to think, why is the algorithm burying me? And we know a large majority is when you're saying the truthful, resonating things, the things that go against the system but are feasibly, logically resonating solutions, you are going to get suppressed. The algorithm is going to amplify the chaos and the rage and the venting and the frustration because it wants more of that. It wants us more chaotic and divided. So, as this week, I reflected and said, no, I am no longer going to be a source of frustration. I am going to be a consistent source of inspiration, of support, of solution, of resolution, and solidarity. So what I did this morning is I made a couple of videos yesterday. I'm getting back into the vibe, to the groove of things. Because I got a whole bunch of things on my plate. My family's going to be relocating this summer. I had to catch up on a bunch of orders for the People's Union USA shirts. They're all at the post office. Every single order has been dropped off and is out. There are no pending orders. So if you want to place an order right now, I'll be packing it and shipping it tomorrow. I'm all caught up. So this morning, I sat down. I had my coffee. I don't eat breakfast. I sat down. I drank my coffee. I sat at the table. It was quiet. And I thought to myself, what are the 3 messages I really want to deliver today? What do I want to tell people this morning? And the first video I just posted about 30 minutes ago, you're not crazy. Excellent. It's excellent. When we're done here, go watch the You're Not Crazy. I see a bunch of comments on Instagram, I'm on YouTube right now, and I apologize. It's fuzziness to me. I have to put my glasses on, and I'll get to that in a minute, what we're evolving and turning this into. So today I sat down and I wrote out my 3 potential posts for today. I came into my studio. I, put on my clothes and changed and stuff. And I sat here and I filmed all 3, actually 4 videos today. I filmed all 4 this morning. And the great thing about that is it's my messages, clear, consistent, and calm. And what that means now is during the day today, I don't have to go online and be continuously reminded of the horrors. I know. I know what's going on. I will at the end of the night catch up on the news of the day just to stay relevant, but I don't need to scroll social media all day long and just see the horror, the constant horror. And for me, where the frustration is really coming into play right now is the lack of accountability and action happening from our government. We have politicians and military leaders who are basically standing complicit by not calling for the immediate arrest of this administration. I don't care if the president claims to have immunity from prosecution. We have enough verifiable proof, eyewitness testimony, documentation, previous court cases, and plenty of accusations in the Epstein files to bring him in. We know he has done enough behind the door deals that are corruption, stealing money from this country, $10 billion from the IRS to pay himself back, $10 billion for his little peace scam to rebuild Gaza on the land of genocide. The crypto deals that he's done, the Venezuelan oil, he is literally bankrupting this country, breaking down democracy, selling us out to the highest bidder, and working for every single corrupt world leader out there and not serving the people. And none of our politicians, left and right, are doing anything about it. And I'm sick and tired of every day basically getting on social media and in between the horror, seeing the posts from our favorite flavored politicians of the month, like Bernie Sanders and AOC and Jasmine Crockett and Hakeem Jeffries. They're not doing anything. The other day, I caught a glimpse of, what the hell is his name? It went right out of my head. He's been doing his show on HBO for years, his late night show. Oh my God. How did I just draw a blank on his name? Anyway, there was that new politician, the one everybody's loving, Texas, really well-spoken guy, answers his questions really well. He's got his insight and information, and he says things that I like. I can't think of his name right now, Tallarico maybe. And he was on there with Lauren Boebert. Bill Maher, thank you. And thank you so much. And I saw Lauren Boebert on there, and she was talking about having the 10 Commandments in the classroom as just this moral guide. And then he rebutted and said that he thinks that's kind of not the way to go, because most of the people who want to post the 10 Commandments in the schools don't even follow it themselves. And what's funny is everything he's saying, she's now agreeing with. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching this and I'm like, what? Yeah, Tallarico, thank you. I'm like, what is going on here? These people have no concept, not him, like her. These people who are serving us and pretending, as I have been saying, they're performance politicians. So political pressure is deserved. Just as much as I keep amplifying the messages for economic resistance, political pressure, real political pressure, is what's really going to help escalate the changes for the people. And what I love hearing right now, here's what I love hearing right now. Check this out. The People's Union USA, for the past year, what is our number one fight been? To end federal income tax for the American citizen and hold the corporations and the elite and the wealthy and the religious institutions accountable for that. Now I am hearing Tallarico, J.B. Pritzker, Zoran Mamdani all talk about that. They are all talking about raising the taxes on the wealthy to alleviate that burden on us. And I love what Zoran Mamdani has done in New York. And a lot of people have it misunderstood. They heard Zoran Mamdani say, I'm going to raise new taxes on New York City homeowners by 10%. That is not what he said. That soundbite is being used with malicious intent. The governor of New York does not want to charge the wealthy and the rich taxes. So he put her on the burner. He threw her under the bus. He said, if we cannot raise the taxes on the wealthy and the corporations who are sucking this city dry and manipulating the taxes, I will have to raise the taxes by 10% on all of the New York City residents. So now the New York City residents will put political pressure on the governor to stand with the people, not the corporations. And if the governor doesn't, she will lose being the governor. He's only saying he will have to raise taxes on the citizens so the citizens get up and fight back. He has no intention of doing that. He wants to hold the wealthy accountable. J.B. Pritzker does. Tallarico does. And those are politicians that I will stand behind and support if they are serious. Because ending federal income tax for the American citizen is long overdue. There is plenty of money pouring into this country, even from undocumented immigrants. And if you don't understand how undocumented immigrants are paying into the system, then you should educate yourself. Because what MAGA is doing, what the Republican Party is doing, what these treasonous Democrats who are complicit with those parties are doing is allowing this country the illusion of democracy to even fade away. We were never truly a democratic nation. Our popular vote does not choose who is the president. We do not choose who is the president. The electoral vote does. And rarely, a Republican has rarely won the popular vote, and they are still in power because of the crooked scam of the electoral vote. So if we were a true democracy, not only would it just be based on the popular vote, we would be our own Congress. We don't need Lauren Boebert, Mitch McConnell, and all these other just political performers, pretend politicians, cosplay politicians making decisions for us. These are people who are greedy, want to hoard the wealth, want to dictate how you and I live our lives, and they want to protect the greedy, complicit, maniac, psychotic, treasonous, murdering, genocidal, child killing, child trafficking, child raping administration. And I want to tell you something. I've done a little research this week because I'm very well versed on various biblical writings, from the Quran to the Old Testament to the New Testament, and many spiritual books in between. I can post a picture of my little library if you'd like to see the books that I read. And I've started digging really into the formation of Christianity, how and who and what and why. And what a rabbit hole. What a rabbit hole to jump in. If Christians actually took 10 minutes to see how their religion was formed and why, they would not be Christians 11 minutes later. I kid you not. And I'm going to do an in-depth video about this, maybe something on the Sunday Live or something for the podcast, because it's going to be longer than a 2-minute video, because it is mind-blowing what has happened to us. And my point is, we're looking at the modern administration and the modern religious days, the corporations, and we're going, wow, these are our sleazy, pedophile, maniac, crazy people. I hate to break it to you. They always have been in power. They have always been in power, from the people writing our religious scripture to the people writing the laws of the land. We have always been controlled and dictated by people who are murdering, raping, killing, and committing genocide. And when you sit down to really take the time to look at the true factual evidence, not conspiracy theory, not hypothesis, truth, you will be devastated, because we've always known there's more to us than what we are. We've always known there's more corruption on the surface. We've always heard the stories. But when you really look into why governments exist, why religions exist, why Christianity exists, you'll be blown away. When you search back and look at the formation of Israel, the chosen people on their land, that is not their land. When you just And I'm not anti Semitic. I love the Jewish people. I hate what Netanyahu is doing. I love every single person out there, and it breaks my heart. I don't want to be a person who harbors ill feelings towards anyone, and I know either of you don't. And I've been talking a lot lately about hatred. We can't continue to hate. We want to say, I hate this administration. I hate MAGA. And I understand you're disgusted. We're exhausted. We're we're so pressed and backed into the corner that the only thing we can do is fight. And I don't want to get that angry and mad because I promise you this. I might be 6'2", 195 pounds, but if I unleash that part of me, my buddy Craig, longest person I've ever known for the he said to me like a year ago, we were just talking about boxing and martial arts, and he said to me, like, you know, you are a deadly dude, man. And I it kind of stepped me back because I didn't know he kind of perceived that part of me or was really aware of that part of me, you know, and I don't want to get to that point. I don't want to be that person who is holding the torch, leading everybody to storm the castle, because that is going to be the most horrific moment in human history. I want to be the I'd rather be the Abby Hoffman of today. I'd rather be remembered as just somebody who spoke for fairness and equal rights and to expose the corruption, not expose the corruption as I've been saying with frustration, with anger, with hatred, but to expose the corruption to form solidarity, to form unity, to form unprecedented power. I mean, for God's sakes, when you look at all the law enforcement in this country, all the military, all the political people, there are thousands of them. They are in the tens of thousands, whatever. There are hundreds of millions of us. Uh, you know, people call for a general strike, right? They are hoping for a general strike, and I would love it, man. Before COVID ever happened, I swear to you, if you scroll back to my Instagram pages from about 2015 to 2016, everything that has happened in today, I called it. Red Army on the street, MAGA. I called all of this verbatim, even down to Deepak Chopra. No joke. And if you look back on my page, oh shit, I just lost my point. I had to think about Deepak Chopra, another piece of shit, and I just lost my point. It'll come to me in a moment. But if you scroll back on my page, you'll see that I've been sharing these types of messages consistently, and I have been trying to form that common ground, and I have been warning us about what is going to happen today. And the only thing that we can possibly do is 300. Oh, Instagram just paused me. It just paused me. That's the first time in over a week that Instagram has paused me. Just hang on there. When Instagram pauses me, don't worry about it. You can also go over to YouTube and I see the comment section. If it's lagging, if the audio isn't good, don't worry about it. I've got a video capture card coming today so I can use my Canon EOS for this. I've got the microphone to hook up to it. I'm gonna be getting StreamYard. Yay, another $40 a month. So I can really stream this really crisp and clean. But my point is, everyone, is oh, I remember. There we go. I was calling for the day the earth stood still. I was saying we need something to happen that just completely shuts this planet down. And we got that. And not only did we get it, 2020, COVID, I'm sorry. I know we lost lives, but I honor their lives because they were the catalyst. they became the stepping stones for the possibility of change, all of those who we lost. Because I was screaming for years, we need the day the earth stood still to shut it all down. And what happened in COVID? Not only did it happen in 2020, and 2020, literally in the medical optometry industry, 2020 represents perfect vision. The universe could not have handed us something better. The year was 2020, and we were able to see with perfect vision that there is another way. Our children can learn another way. Work can be done another way. We don't have to go back to normal, because that version of normal is what got us here in the first place. There has never been, sorry, a time in US history, sorry, that this country was great. Sorry, there was never a time where things were normal. Sorry, the Industrial Revolution, we had children working in factories in this country. We had the World War I, World War II, the Korean War, Vietnam War, the AIDS epidemic, COVID. And throughout all of that, we have been dictated how to live, what to do, what not to do by psychopaths. Honest to God, literal psychopaths. The most, from the formation of this country, our forefathers, land raping, slave owning, genocidal maniacs. They came here, almost wiped out an entire indigenous. What's so funny? What's so funny? Let's put the brakes on. What's so funny? If you can comment what's so funny, I'd love to know. Our forefathers came here and committed genocide almost. They were slave traders, raping. Benjamin Franklin, we know, had illegitimate children from raping slaves. So when we want to sit here and talk about honoring, oh, our forefathers would be rolling in their graves if they saw what was happening today. No, they wouldn't. Our forefathers would be standing right there with them. They broke away from England so they can come here, these rich, sleazy, dirty psychopaths, and create their own land. And they basically replicated it, called it something different, still have the kings and queens. Oh, I'm sorry, the politicians and the powerful and the corporate owners, the elite, and still have the peasants. Oh, I'm sorry, the citizens. There is nothing different. And our government and the system in which our politicians are pretending to uphold is a joke. The American system is a joke. America is a joke. Our way of society is a joke. It is inverted. We have all the technology and intelligence and people and willpower to change our entire way of life tomorrow, from the monetary systems to immigration to politics to economics to environmental issues to education. We can change this country like that. But because these darkened, industrialized, demonic people don't want to change, they will continue to honor and uphold this system, which brings me to the reason that frustrates me more than anything else. Why are you still supporting and honoring any politician who is not truly trying to stand with the people? Now, as I just said, Tallarico, Pritzker and Zoran Mamdani are the only people I hear talking about holding the wealthy accountable to finally step up and pay to alleviate that burden on us. But that ain't good enough for me. Because once we end federal income tax, they will still price gouge us. I saw an interview yesterday with somebody who had to raise their prices. Listen to this carefully. Had to raise their prices because of the tariffs. Now that they're going to get some of that money back potentially, and now that the tariffs can't happen and prices should naturally come down, they're not going to lower their prices because you and I have become used to paying the higher prices. So not only are they going to continue to price gouge us with the mythical unicorn called inflation, and I will argue to the death with any professional economist who wants to tell me it's because of excess money printing, it's because of this, it's because of that. It is because of greed. It is because of disgusting greed. They're now going to start getting their tariff revenue back, and they're not going to lower their prices, and you and I are not going to see a penny of that. We are the peasants. And when they do turn around and give you $500 or $2,000 at some point in your income tax, if it ever happens, don't applaud them as if they've done something for you. That's nothing. That is the king in his chariot riding through the town, throwing loaves of breads and coins out to the peasants. So every single politician, Bernie Sanders, AOC, and especially Jasmine Crockett, because the three of them love to make posts starting off with sentences like, "No, Mr. President, you cannot. No, Netanyahu, you cannot," when clearly they are. AOC only wants to stand there and say everything you want to hear, but never take the steps to hold anyone accountable. Jasmine Crockett constantly wants to talk back to anyone who's talking about her and highlight that she's educated and smart, which great, but they're not doing anything. I don't give a, almost went there. I don't give a hoot what they're doing for their little local community, because we are all in this together. And the illusion of state lines, county lines, wall and border on a map mean absolutely nothing. We are all one within one. We are all citizens of this planet. And anyone who sees what is happening and wants to stand up against it and speak out. Pause, Will, a moment. Thank you. You're compassionate, you're kind, you're loving, you are aware, and you want to fight for a better tomorrow. Those who oppose this, those who want to continue to support this system, this way of life, in my opinion, are the cult. They are the sheep. They are the devils. They are the demons. They are what is inhibiting our world from becoming what it can. They are the ones standing with their foot on our necks. They are the ones holding us in the corner. And the only way we get control is when we all stand together. So one more time, I don't know what any other organization is fighting for, but I do know what the People's Union USA is fighting for, and it is the same thing I'm fighting for: to end federal income tax for the American citizen, to hold the wealthy and corporations accountable, to end corporate price gouging. Any business, from financial to materialistic to retail to pharmaceutical, must operate within the confines of a legal, reasonable profit margin cap. and equality across the board. We should not have to be a country that has things like DEI in place to protect people and be equal. We should treat every single person the way we want to be treated ourselves, with kindness, with respect, and I almost went there again, with validity. We all want to be heard and seen and felt like we matter because we do. And that fact that you are not is what is killing you and crushing you and inhibiting you inside. And the only way it stops is when you and me get up and stop it, because preacher, prophet, politician, messiah, and extraterrestrial are not coming to save you. We stand together. You see somebody wearing this, they've got your back. You're safe. They've got your back no matter where you are, where it is. You see somebody doing this, and the whole point is we hold the goddamn line. We are the last line of defense. We are the resistance. We are the light. We are what will stop them from destroying this world and destroying the lives of our children. We are the only hope we have. And this is why I'm going to be putting all of these lives now on my podcast everywhere I can. This is why I'm asking you to buy a t-shirt. This is why I ask you to buy me a cup of coffee. This is why I ask you to contribute, to just support what's going on. Do you know how many threats I get on a daily basis? I have literally had people send me my address back to me. And Meta wants to suppress me because I'm not getting online and telling you what Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump did. I'm not getting online and calling out other content creators and rage baiting you. I'm getting online and asking you to please stop. Transcend what divides us. Treat yourself with love and kindness. Give your family and your friends the kindness that you pretend to give everybody else, especially on social media. Eat well, sleep well, love yourself. Let go of the hate. Forgive yourself for every mistake you've ever made. It wasn't your fault. We have all only been reacting to the only way we know how at those specific moments of our lives, based on every action and event we have mistakenly let define and dictate who we think we are. All the people who have hurt you, forgive them. Forgive them. Forgive them. Don't forget. You'll never forget what they did. You don't have to associate, but you can let that pain, that suffering, and that weight go. My mother, my father, and sister were the worst people to me. They were the worst people to me, physically, mentally, sexually, spiritually abused me 6 ways from Sunday. And I wish to God I can speak today. None of them are here. My mom is gone. My dad is gone. My sister excuse me. Sorry. My sister killed herself. And I wish I can just have a moment to speak to them today, just to let them know it's okay. I love them. I know the bad things they did to me were not a reflection of me. It's not who they wanted to be. But at that moment in their life, whatever trauma, whatever horror was inside of them, that's what came out of them. I was just there at the wrong time. And you know what? I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for the beatings that my mom gave me. I'm grateful for the infinite bullying from my father, the infinite bullying and beating from my sister, the sexual abuse from my mother. I am grateful for it. I am grateful for every stupid, life wrecking, life destroying mistake I have ever made. More grateful for them than I am for the good things, because it's all those mistakes, all those moments of horror that I learned do not define who I am. They were only moments of observation. They were only lessons, and they taught me how to be here today, how to safely navigate this world, and most importantly, how to reach my hand out without judgment, without expectation, and without ultimatum to every single person who needs somebody to reach their hand out to them. And I know I can't buy you a meal. I know I can't move your family from Gaza to someplace safe. I know I can't go to the White House and put cuffs on them and drag them across the goddamn lawn and throw them in a van and have them held accountable, but I will not stop trying. I will not stop speaking out against the injustice in a way that we can support and inspire each other. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that from time to time, I let my mistakes and my trauma affect the way I communicate with you. The last thing I ever want to do is make you feel alienated or abandoned because I do know how that feels. It's so funny growing up, and he's here, Craig's watching. I don't know if he's listening right now, but we used to think it was really cool. My mom, after my sister moved out, my parents were divorced when I was like 4.5 years old. And after my sister moved out and I was a teenager, young teenager, my mom would just leave and she would stay at her friend's house. My mom was actually gay and she would stay at her partner's house for months. Months. I didn't have money. I was supposed to be in school, so I couldn't be in school. I had to work, had to sell weed, do things like that to survive. And we thought it was awesome because we all can hang out and do what we want and stay up as late as we want and do all this shit. And I look back and I think to myself, holy shit, man, that's literally abandonment. And I think of my children and I think of your children. And I said to my son, I sat at the table yesterday and I read. I'm going to bring up something that's really just horrific for a minute. I read in the online yesterday that on February 14th, a young black man, 21 years old, was found hung in a tree in a wooded area in Georgia. And the police ruled it a suicide. And I was sitting at the table with my son, my daughter, my wife, and instantly my wife saw it. I was like, what? And she saw it and she looked at me and went, and I just bit my mouth down and my son went, "What?" And I just shook my head and I looked out the window and just the tears just came up into my eyes and I turned to my son and I said, "I just want you to know everything I'm doing is for you. I have no delusions or no illusions that I will actually see that world that we are all fighting for, but I hope I hope that at least when I take my last breath, that I know that's the world we're leaving behind for our children. To think of the things that have been done and are being done suicide. Yeah. A black man in Georgia went to the woods and hung himself in a tree. What type of a insane law enforcement agent would ever come to that conclusion? And I don't wanna jump to premature conclusions, whether the kid left a note or not, but right off the bat, just nope. It is just so heartbreaking what we really can be capable of doing to each other. And I can't even imagine what could have happened to a person to enable them to do the things that have been done to people, or what kind of soulless monster could be born into this world to do that. But what I do know, without a shadow of a doubt, is that what I'm doing right now is exactly what I came here to do. And every single one of you inside have a purpose. I promise you. I promise you, you may feel hopeless, exhausted, tired, and lost, but you have a purpose. And the moment you stop listening and pretending that this exterior world is going to save you, and the moment you stop second guessing that inner guidance, that will be the moment you shift your perspective, start healing your mind and heart, and that'll be the moment you truly wake up. And I don't know what it's going to take, but I'm asking all of you, please wake up as fast as you can, however you can. Wake up, little sleepyheads, because the world is burning, the sky is falling, the light is getting dimmer, the darkness is growing. And the worst thing we could do is pretend that it's going to be okay. The worst thing we could do is expect that it's going to be okay and somebody else is going to fix it. And the worst thing we could do is believe that fascism will just die because it always does, because it never died. It just disguised itself. The South never lost. The Nazis never died. They just changed their name. They just waited in quiet, hidden down secrecy. And now we know it's all a lie. And when that voice spoke to me and it said that when it said it's all an illusion, and I asked, "Who are you?" And it responded back, "Who are you?" In that moment, I realized that everything from my name to the reflection in the mirror to every single thing I identify with has nothing to do with who we are. It's all an illusion, my friends. In every sense of the word, it is all an illusion. And the only way we create and manifest an illusion that benefits us and entertains us and is the playground in which we created to come here and enjoy happens is by all of us just just do that. That sigh of relief. Just go like this. Feel how good that is. Do it again. Now do it with intention. The center of your chest. Taking a big, deep breath. And let all of the stress, the tension, everything just breathe. Breathe with your awareness. Be mindfully present. Love everyone around you as you love yourself and transcend all that does not serve you. And please, in any way you possibly can, from sharing a video to buying a shirt to buying me a cup of coffee to helping me just keeping things going, you are what I've got. Just as much as you depend on me, resonate with me, need me in your daily life, It is absolutely mutual. It is reciprocal. We are connected, not just in words, literally, physically, mentally, scientifically, and spiritually. We are connected. What you feel, I feel. What I feel, you feel. What we all feel, it feels. And what it feels is what we all feel. And the only way it changes is when we individually change. So please be the change you hope, not expect, not want, hope to see and be. Please. And if you can, comment on this, share this, and thank you so much for spending your time with me. I'll see you later, my friends. Have a great day. YouTube, thank you so much. And Instagram,